We talked just earlier today about Chris Ballard and the moves that he made in the offseason that were so crucial to the success we're having now, and maybe none more important than getting Shane Steichen. Okay, there were a couple of good head coaching hires in this past offseason, but Shane Steichen might have been the best of them. He's a guy that right now, at least the last that I saw, he was right behind Dan Campbell in terms of coach of the year odds. And I think that's right where he should be. I think he's somebody that deserves coach of the year, right? And when you're talking about that list, you got to put Dan Campbell up there. You got to put Kyle Shanahan up there. But Shane Steichen's right there. DeMeco Ryans is right there. And there are a couple of good tweets that I saw on this subject that I thought illustrated kind of perfectly everything that is the reason why Shane Steichen deserves coach of the year. And this first one's going to be from @DropBallsPod on Twitter. This is somebody that we've talked about before here. He has a YouTube channel where he does a podcast with some other people. It's Sports After Dark. So if you're looking for some more content to check out, go ahead and check that out after this video. But what he has here, his tweet says, Shane Steichen case for coach of the year. Offensive lineman in and out of the lineup all season. QB1 hurt for pretty much the entire season. Running back 1 missing for 7+ games. Starting cornerback suspended and cut. Second outside cornerback, lost due to an Achilles injury in week 2. He's had to depend on a second and a 7th round rookie at cornerback throughout this season, and Juju has missed a lot of the season. Zach Moss, for as good as he's been, he's missed some time also. Then you look at the Steelers game, okay? The Colts offense, Shane Steichen calls the plays. They had 170 rushing yards between Trey Sermon and Tyler Goodson. These are two guys that were on the practice squad just a couple weeks ago. Well, Trey Sermon's been the 3rd string running back, but doesn't really see any time. So basically practice squad. You know what I'm saying. Okay, so all this going on, the Colts sitting at an 8-6 record. Everybody thought we would have 4 wins. We're sitting here at 8-6, the 7th seed in the AFC, and still at the moment control our own destiny. Okay, and at the time I'm recording this during the Ravens-Jaguars game. Right now, the Jaguars are down 3-0. That game's almost to halftime. So we could be sitting in a position where we're tied with the Jaguars. We would still be in the 7th position because the Jaguars have the head-to-head against us this year, but we're going to be right there, not only controlling our own destiny, but now putting pressure on the Jaguars that they have to perform or we'll take the division from them. Okay, and another piece to this whole puzzle, Grover Stewart was out for 6 games in the run game. We're giving up more than 150 yards a game without Grover Stewart. And we were still able to overcome that, and we had a 4-game win streak while Grover Stewart was out. Somehow, some way, we made it work because Shane Steichen's that good. The coaching staff he brought with him is that good. Okay, there's another tweet here that I thought was pretty nice, and it's from @IndySports1812. Good Colts follow on Twitter. If you're on there, go ahead, follow him if you're not already. But he says, so first year under Shane Steichen, double our wins with 3 games to go, which is what we were talking about. Everybody predicted us to have 4 wins. We already have 8. Okay, the offensive line, it's back. One of the best offensive lines in the league. JT, happy to be a Colt. Okay, talked about it in the podcast with Zaire Franklin. He's happy to be back with Indy. He loves Shane Steichen, loves the messaging from Shane Steichen, wants to play for Shane Steichen. Okay, Kenny Moore is Kenny Moore again. Ryan Kelly is Ryan Kelly again. He's turned one of the worst scoring offenses from 2022 into one of the best scoring offenses in 2023. Okay, we were able to sweep the Titans this year after losing 5 straight. We were able to sweep the Titans. We were able to beat the Steelers, which we haven't done since 2008. We were also able to snap the Sconey Colt curse. If you're on Twitter, you know what I'm talking about. Josh Downs is one of the top rookie wide receivers, and yeah, that's credit to Josh Downs for putting in the work and being great. That's credit to Chris Ballard for drafting him, but credit to Shane Steichen and his staff for taking a rookie wide receiver and getting him ready right away because we need it, right? So great job there by Coach. And also, we were able to beat the Patriots, and it sounds like we're going to be the reason that Bill Belichick gets fired. It was decided after the game in Germany when the Colts beat the Patriots that Bill Belichick and the Patriots would go in different directions in the offseason. Don't know if that's true. Come from Tommy Kern, and from what Boston Connor says on the Pat McAfee show, Tommy Kern can be trusted. So like sweet poetic justice, Shane Steichen comes in, helps us get Bill Belichick the heck out of here. Okay, but then we continue to move on. There's more here. Shane Steichen's done a lot. Okay, Michael Pittman Jr. is an official wide receiver 1. And that's a fact. Okay, Michael Pittman Jr. is a guy that could have tried to sign a deal last offseason, but it probably would have been like $18 million, like a Christian Kirk contract. What he's done this year in Shane Steichen's offense, right? Having a competent offense to work in, competent quarterback play. What do we see? Michael Pittman Jr. is an absolute boss out there, bro. Homie's about to get the bag. He deserves it, man. Everything that he's done for us with what he's made, right? He's not a first round wide receiver. He's not making money like that. So for everything that he's put out, he's about to get broken off and he deserves it. All right. So as we move on here, Shane Steichen also helped us go from having the 4th pick to possibly getting into the playoffs. Somehow, some way, from what we saw last year, the transformation to this year has been incredible. And you can't do that without a guy like Shane Steichen coming in and instituting a new culture, right? Changing the culture, changing the way the locker room works. All the players talk about absolutely loving coach, right? In one of the videos that they put out, EJ Speed was walking off the field of the game Saturday. And in one of the videos that the Colts put on social media, EJ Speed, as he was talking, he said, "In Steichen, we trust." And that's really what you hear from everybody. Everybody loves Shane Steichen, and that's great to hear. Everybody is all the way bought in, which is what you need, right? If you're going to be a successful football team, you need the guys to buy in. That's why San Francisco is so successful no matter what happens there, because people buy into Kyle Shanahan because he's that dude, right? Shane Steichen comes in, he's all about ball. He's really good as a coach. He hasn't been perfect. He's had his moments, rookie head coach. We've seen the mistakes he's made. We've talked about the mistakes that he's made in different times. But for the most part, what we've seen from Shane Steichen has been nothing short of outstanding up to this point. Right, being able to transform this offense built for Anthony Richardson, right? Like it was built for Jalen Hurts. You could basically translate that over to what we were going to have here, and it was supposed to be Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. And what we've seen for a majority of the season is Gardner Minshew and Zach Moss. And when you look at it, you put those two on a lot of other teams in the league, and into those situations, like, does it still work out the way it has? I don't know. I just don't know if it would. I think Shane Steichen's good enough that he's making all these guys better, right? Helping these guys be better. Shane Steichen and his staff, of course, all these guys work together. Shane Steichen's only one man, but Shane Steichen is the head coach. And everything that he's done for this team is great. It makes me so excited for what we're going to see in the future. Like, I can't wait. Like, now that he knows what we have in Anthony Richardson and kind of what he has in some other guys, he's going to be able to help Chris Ballard in free agency and like, hey, let's try to go get this guy and this guy and this guy. Going to be able to help in the draft. Like, hey, we need this guy and this guy, right? Going and picking his own defensive coordinator, which I assume is probably going to happen, and working with somebody new, and then kind of instilling a new thing. Like, I think there's a lot to be excited about. Obviously coaching plays into that. Obviously, AR plays into that. But I think Shane Steichen's the guy for the future, man. I think he's going to be one of those guys that's just tenured for a really long time. Kind of like Sean McVay right now, Kyle Shanahan, these guys that are getting in these positions. And even if they have a bad year, it's like, he's not going to get fired, right? You had this happen. And if this doesn't happen, like he has a good team and he's able to overcome it and at least make the playoffs. He might not win a Super Bowl, but he's good enough to get his team to the playoffs. And I think that kind of stuff matters, when you end up in a situation like Mike Tomlin, right? He's only won, I think I saw he won 4 playoff games, right? So for all the winning seasons he has, people are saying, okay, if he's not going to win us another Super Bowl again, get him out of here. That's the standard for them. That's where I want Shane Steichen to be eventually. But right now we are where we are. I'm very happy with Shane Steichen. Looks like we're going to go to the playoffs. After this season with AR and JT back in the lineup and healthy, we're going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time. Okay, and of course, I'd love to know what your opinion is on all this. Do you think Shane Steichen should be coach of the year? Do you think it should be somebody else? Of course, as Colts fans, we're going to say, yeah, of course, we want our guy to be coach of the year. But from an objective point of view, do you think Shane Steichen should be coach of the year? Because honestly, my opinion here is that I think Kyle Shanahan should have had it before. He doesn't get it because John Lynch is so good at his job that people kind of discredit what Kyle Shanahan does. But I think it's been a sustained period of time where Kyle Shanahan's just been great. So I think Kyle Shanahan should be up there and he should probably get it because it's his turn. But if he doesn't get it, I think it's Shane Steichen. I could also understand an avenue where you say D'Amico Ryans because the Texans were even more in the hole than the Colts. And I think by all intents and purposes, everybody expected the Colts to do better than the Texans this year. So it seems like D'Amico Ryans could very easily be in the running for that also, especially that week 18 game could be deciding who wins the division. It could decide who gets into the wild card spot. It could decide who wins coach of the year. Okay, so as we lead up to that all important week 18 game, we're going to continue to have videos every single day on this channel. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified when those videos do come out. As always, I appreciate you stopping by for another video, and take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.